Get a brand new season of What Made America Great on Fox Nation.
Well, as you've noticed, if you got the wrong politics, if you, for example, oppose communism or don't fully trust public health experts who have no idea what they're doing and lie, you can be fired. Another example tonight, an actress in a popular Disney Plus Star Wars series is the latest to be fired. Fox's Trace Gallagher has that story for us tonight. Hey, Trace.
Hi, Tucker. Before she became an actress, Gina Carano, a conservative, was a mixed martial arts fighter, and she's been criticized previously for posting political statements like mocking mask wearing and alleging there was voter fraud in the 2020 election. Now she's been fired by Disney for an Instagram post that compares the political climate in Nazi Germany to what's happening today in the U.S. She wrote, quote, "Most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views?" But the very same comparison was used 2 years ago by The Mandalorian's liberal star, Pedro Pascal, who posted pictures of children confined by barbed wire in 1944 Nazi Germany and children allegedly being confined in ICE detention centers in 2018, except the picture isn't from the U.S., it's reportedly Palestinian children in the West Bank. So, same sentiment, wrong picture, still employed. But now the Disney double standard is being questioned. The associated editor of the Daily Caller writes, quoting here, "Gina Carano's post made the point that mass violence starts with hatred for your neighbor. This is not only uncontroversially true, but also one perspective of the commandment to love your neighbor. Many others are simply canceling Disney+. Interesting that last month, Gina Carano said she stays vocal on social media because she has seen both sides of the aisle get bullied on Twitter. This time, it appears very one-sided. Tucker.
Trace Gallagher, thanks so much for that. I appreciate it. Matt Walsh is one of the smartest observers of all of this stuff. He's the host of the Matt Walsh Show. He joins us now. Matt, thanks so much for coming on. One of the reasons this is particularly galling and ominous is that Disney, by and large, is programmed to our kids. It's a channel right into the minds of our children. With that in mind, how do you assess this?
Yeah, well, Disney has been radically leftist for a very long time, and so I think this is. I'm glad to hear that people are canceling their Disney Plus subscription. This is something as conservatives we have to start thinking. Okay, there are companies out there that are actively working against us in the culture. They're working against us. They're brainwashing our kids. They want to turn our kids against us by the messages they're feeding them. Are we going to keep supporting these kinds of companies? So this is just one example. In this case, it's so absurd, as was just covered there, that I mean the idea that a Nazi, a Holocaust, or a Hitler comparison is now anti-Semitic. Well, if that's the case, then everybody on the internet is an anti-Semite, because this is the most common rhetorical tactic that you find on the internet. And that's why I think that Gina Carano has not only a case of being canceled here, but this is defamation. I mean, Lucasfilms came out and said that she was denigrating people for their religious beliefs. That's not even an interpretation of what she said. That is just a lie about what she said. And so I think she should.
Can I clarify? I think that's right, but I mean, she was anti-Nazi, right? She wasn't endorsing the Nazis; she was criticizing the Nazis,
right? Yeah, I guess the only way you could possibly interpret it as pro-Nazi is if you think that she was warning about hatred of your fellow man but in fact she was encouraging it like it's a good thing. Of course, that's not what she was doing. The point, as far as Nazi comparisons go, this is one of the more legitimate ones we've seen, because the point she's making, she's not saying that right now conservatives are being rounded up and sent to concentration camps. She's just saying that when you take a certain group of people and we start demonizing them and dehumanizing them for their beliefs, it can lead to very bad places. And the ironic thing is that the left is now proving her point by the way they're reacting to her. Making up these lies, calling her an anti-Semite. They know it's a lie. They know it is, and they're just saying it because they feel like, well, she deserves it because she's a cultural heretic and she has the wrong views. So that's dehumanizing. When you think it's okay to defame someone because you disagree with their political views. So I think they've kind of proved her point in a lot of ways.
When did everyone on one side get so ideological that all that matters is you have to sort of bow before certain idols and then you get a pass to do whatever you want? I don't remember the country being like this. a few years ago?
I think it's been a long process, and that's the thing. You talk about ideological. That's the thing about cancel culture. People need to understand there is no cancel culture on the right. The right doesn't have a cancel culture because in order to cancel someone, you have to have institutional power. You have to have. We hear so much on the left about systemic power. In fact, they say you can't be racist unless you have systemic power. That, of course, is ridiculous because racism is just an internal heart thing. But canceling someone takes power. You have to have systemic institutional power to cancel someone, and only the left really has that. So actually, cancel culture is a left-wing phenomenon. They're the only ones who do it, and it is intensely ideological. That's the number one thing that determines whether you're going to be canceled is your political views.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Matt Walsh, great to see you tonight. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Think about it. I was just talking about it. Now they're talking about it. How you had to first make the people hate your neighbor, and then you can get rid of them. But you have to build the climate first. You have to build the climate first. See? Yeah, that's what I was just messaging about that, just posting about that. You have to get them to hate the people first. Get the population to hate a certain class of people first, and then you can start burning them up in ovens. Think about it. Assalamu alaikum.